Knives Out came out in 2019, and with its third sequel on the way and a recent trailer just being released for the end of the year, I figured now is the perfect time to talk about it. Knives Out for me is just a film that we only get to see every few years. There are some genres that aren't really made much due to budgetary reasons, or just the fact that they've had their day, and the classic whodunit murder mystery is one of those. While there has been some modern interpretations of the genre, Knives Out brings everything back to the basics with its setting, cast, and story. Knives Out, while it isn't the most groundbreaking story, it's not going to make you feel an over sense of emotion, and while there are some themes on immigration and white supremacy in the film, I don't want to focus on those moments too much. But the film for me is just so much fun. I rarely find myself having so much fun watching a film outside of a pure comedy or an action thrill ride in an action movie. So let's break down why Knives Out is my perfect movie. Knives Out sets itself up beautifully, still shots around the house of a country estate, setting up each character in their own unique way. We are slowly introduced to each character, with the family even having title cards. The film wants you to know that this is a much more of a classic story of the whodunit genre. We have the deceased with a family fortune, and the close family all have their own quirks and personality. Each family member is unique and feels real and lived. Joni is the classic blonde with her eyes constantly on Twitter, Linda with her brash and glamorous fashion, Walt is using a walking stick from an injury that we actually find out in a deleted scene is actually from an injury from a loan shark. Meg, being one of the youngest in the family, is vaping, and she seems like the most sympathetic of the family. All the characters have got their props, costumes, and tiny small details that make them stand out, giving each character a personality. The introduction of each character adds insight to how they interact and talk about each other, adding to the perfect layers of character and relationships. And after them, we have our detective running the case with his almost dim-witted sidekick, Trooper Wagner, who appears slow but offers insight into the Thrumby books and into Benoit Blanc himself. He's kind of like our eyes looking in, and he gets to explain things that we need to know. There's no annoying exposition, it's just a funny character giving us information in an interesting way. And of course, we have Benoit Blanc and his soon-to-be sidekick, or Watson as he likes to call her, Marta. Blanc once again using fun quirks, with him being a classic passive observer, with his cigars, tweed jackets, and a southern drawl to tie the whole thing together. And Marta is the straight role for the audience to follow. The film isn't shy about being subtle, and I adore it. The film even has this line.
I mean, the guy practically lives in a clue board.
We always get our man.
Mrs. Peacock was a man?
This level of not being subtle is incredibly fun. The film goes full throttle into every cliche. The level of cheesiness just adds to all the fun. I adore films and TV shows that add to that form of cheesiness. 80s action movies with catchphrases, westerns with zoomed in close-ups, or in this case, a murder mystery set in a country estate with a tweed-wearing detective. As I mentioned, this film's setting is like straight off of a clue board. The house is stunning and almost Victorian. Even though we only get a few shots of the house in order to see the layout, it all feels lived in thanks to some incredible real-life locations, props, and wardrobe. Every character has their own unique style set to their personality, as even smaller characters are doing something interesting with their attire. The film chooses this cold and beautiful setting. Instead of setting the film in the bright summer and spring to show off our gorgeous stars of characters, it chooses a colder setting. It's set in autumn season going into winter. Everyone is wearing overcoats and scarves. There's a reason Chris Evans' jumper was a highlight in the press when this film came out.
The cable knit sweater.
Yeah, they did. Who doesn't love a cable knit? You get a good 6-month window where a cable knit works.
Benoit Blanc sitting in the dark smoking his cigars really sets the mood and gives off that darker setting that at the end of the day, this film is a murder mystery. This juxtaposes the humour in this film incredibly well. Comedies are usually set in summer with a much more colourful tone, but Knives Out goes in the opposite direction, and it's such a vibe that I enjoy. Seeing a lot of enjoyable scenes being taken place outside makes for such a fresh vibe. Nothing feels like a set or man-made, instead opting for this more natural look. Seeing characters breathe cold air as they talk is so incredible, and allows again to set the atmosphere for the movie. It also helps that I really don't like summer and prefer the more autumnal tones that this film gives me. It's absolutely gorgeous. This setting also extends to the film's stunning cinematography. There's a lot of still shots, wides, and close-ups. Barely is the film shot handheld aside from one moment when the family storms Marta. There's something very still about the whole thing. The filming isn't flashy or over the top. It's simple and clean. Oh no!
Simple and clean as the
But yeah, it's simple and clean, and I think if they'd have gone over the top, the cheesy aspect of the whole movie would have been very jarring. The film is gorgeous to look at, and I adore how this film looks. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I do weekly videos talking about animated films. You've just joined me on the rare time I actually do a live action movie. But follow me over on my Discord group where you get early access to my videos, and I'm currently doing a giveaway as well, so make sure to join with a link in the description. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Some of my favourite movies and shows are usually ones with large ensembles of characters all being individual. Sure, there's usually one who steals the show, and that's no change here.
Enter Benoit Blanc.
But a lead is nothing without its supporting cast. Before I do get to the scene-stealing detective, I want to talk about its supporting cast. I am a massive Jamie Lee Curtis fan, and her character of Linda is my favourite of the support cast. Not only does she give an incredible performance, but I adore the details she's able to put into the scenes she's in. Her glamorous outfits, and within her first scene you see she's not as dumb as the other family members. She even has such a wonderful arc of small details, like the letters she has with her father. While I don't endorse smoking in any shape or form, I adore that we have a main character who smokes. It really puts her into this murder mystery world, but it gives it such a badass boss vibe. These days, finding characters who smoke in films is rare, and while I understand why it's not done often, I find it adds a lot of character.
Filthy habit.
The second character I want to highlight is Detective Elliot. While compared to everyone else, he's probably one of the more normal and straight characters, but he's incredibly necessary. The reason other characters get to be so funny is usually because there's a straight character reacting to it. I also love how he's the only character who calls Benoit Blanc Benny, almost implying that perhaps there's some history between them. If Benoit Blanc is the one asking the questions, he's the one to react and answer them. Chris Evans as Ransom almost took me some time for me to warm up to him, especially on my first watch. After years of watching him as Captain America, it feels odd watching him play such a different character, but my god does he sell it well. Ransom is the asshole of the family, and not just because he, spoiler, tries to kill people, but due to Chris Evans' wonderful performance, you love to hate him. It makes you realise that this character needs an actor like Chris Evans. It would have been so different with a different actor, and Chris Evans sells the charming, charismatic douchebag perfectly. And of course, talking about characters, we must talk about Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. Like Chris Evans, he was fresh out of a starring role for him. You can tell after years of doing such a serious character as James Bond that he wanted to just have fun. And boy does he. His comedic timing is perfect, and he's not even telling any jokes.
She was pocketing the double payment. Harlan found out and cut her off without a cent. Yes?
The southern accent just works, and it allows for this script to make him stand out incredibly well. Some of the words he uses is unbelievably fun, and I just watch scenes with him alone talking and I adore it. Even the small detail Craig puts into his performance makes for so many layers. Once again, I praise a character who smokes, and the cigar is perfect.
Detective, you still here?
There is also his love for music.
Not going left. Not going... Oh, Lord.
And he even has a genuine moral compass as he sits down with Nana Thromby.
No rush. In fact, I find it quite pleasant sitting here with you.
Benoit Blanc is just a wonderfully crafted character, and no matter what he is doing, I am smiling. Unlike a lot of murder mysteries where the plot is about finding out who the killer is, we are told the details of the death pretty early on. While there is obviously more to unravel as the film goes on, the film isn't about finding out the truth, and more about finding out how they got there, and it is done beautifully with Benoit Blanc's method. There is no digging in the truth, as he puts it. He observes the facts and the truth simply falls at his feet. This passive observation, as Benoit Blanc puts it, is incredible. We don't have characters finding clues and having the audience trying to guess who the killer is, but instead we sit back and observe the truth as it is revealed. This doesn't just relate to the film's plot, even to the film's subplot. Example being the following of the baseball. What seems to be an unimportant detail, Don throws the ball outside the window out of frustration with Harlem of knowing about his affair. It gets picked up by Blanc, given to the dogs, then given to Linda, who holds it throughout the entire movie until returning it, and in doing so is able to discover the letter which, at first, doesn't appear to have anything on it. But as she tells us, in order to communicate with her father, you have to play a game. It's written in invisible ink, and she finds out about her husband's affair. The whole story is about following the trail to arrive at the truth, with everything coming full circle. The film gives us all the details that come back around. Harlem talking about how Ransom can't tell the difference between a real knife and a fake one.
Until you can't tell the difference between a stage prop and a real knife. Shit.
And at the end, Blank tells Marta that he knew she had something to do with Harlem's death. And if you look back on when they first met, Blanc looks straight down at her shoes. These small details that feel so minuscule and pointless turn out to be the most entertaining, especially when you rewatch it. The film even manages to make a nice point at the end, with Marta coming out on top simply by being a good person and playing the game her way. We're told how much Harlem likes games, and in order to get him to do anything, you have to play some kind of game with him. Marta makes a point when playing Go with him at the start that she states,
"Because I'm not playing to beat you, I'm playing to build a beautiful pattern."
She doesn't play to beat him or anyone in this film. Everyone is trying to play the game to win. Marta plays the game her way by being a good person in an unfair world, which makes the ending of Harlem's death almost bittersweet, as of course, she was a good nurse and she gave Harlem the proper dosage. Knives Out is such a wonderful film. Daniel Craig's performance just transcends into my personal life. When I'm done watching it, I just feel the sense to crack open my pipe, sip some whiskey, and listen to a string quartet. The southern drawl is something I'll even find myself doing around the house.
Oh, good Lord, we're out of milk!
I'm a big lover when modern films do a genre of film that isn't usually done, and the classic whodunit is obviously one of them. But Knives Out is easily the most entertaining. A film about a murder mystery shouldn't be this funny, but it just really works here. Knives Out is easily one of my top favourite films. And not only that, but I love its sequel.
Look into the clear center of this glass onion.
Maybe I might talk about it one day, but for now, you'll find me in my best tweed suit, smoking a pipe, sipping on some good whiskey, and watching Benoit Blanc blow this whole case wide open.
So how about it, Watson?
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to watch another one, because that's how the algorithm works. I do weekly videos on all the best animated films. This was just the rare occasion when I talked about a live-action movie. Although an animated Knives Out version would be so good. Maybe with the Muppets or something. Remember to join me on my Discord server where you get to suggest future videos and get early access to all my videos as well. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you can be notified about all my latest videos, and follow me over on Instagram. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.